And here she is, Kaleo Sansaa, right here in the 77% studio. Welcome to DW.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
So Kaleo is your real name, it's your first
Yes,
name.
yes.
What about Sansaa? It's your artist name. Where does it come from? What does it mean?
Yeah, so like Kaleo was the name that was given to me by my mother and my grandfather. And Sansa is a name my ancestors and myself gave me. It is my name as well. So Kaleo means I inherited the name Kaleo. So my great-great-grandmother was a Kaleo. And my aunt, my other mom, had a dream when I was born. She had a dream that the old Kaleo had come to her dreams and said, I was gone for a long time, but now I'm back. And then I was born. So when they got the phone call that I was born, they immediately said, okay, I think this is her. She kind of announced herself. So I was like kind of a reincarnation of my great-grandmother.
And that name Sansaa, I mean, the sun plays an important role in your music and who you are. Do you miss the sun a lot, the Zambian sun where you grew up?
You just opened the wound.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No,
Tell me about the sun.
I think, yeah, so I think being in Europe definitely influenced my addiction, or like just highlighted how much I'm addicted to the sun. Even in Zambia, I would spend an abnormal amount of time in the sun, where like others would go in the shade, especially like in the hot summer season in October. Zambia is really hot.
Yes.
So people would naturally go in the shades, and I would go in the sun, even as a child, like until I got dizzy. Like that was entertaining to me, you know? So even there, I had a very intense relationship with the sun. But of course, being in Germany, where the sun kind of always, it's always like, hey, I'm there,
summer
psych,
now
I'm
and
down.
It's cloudy.
You know, it's like, it's just sad. So I think that just reminded me more so that I need to be my own sun, because Germany is not going to give me the sun I need. Yeah,
I know.
I learned that pretty quickly.
So, other than the sun, which you obviously love, what are the other important themes that you address in your music?
So yeah, like I think the underlying message of my music is just if you ask me like what Sansa means, I would just translate it to sun goddess. Like, so what that means for me is realizing the power and potential we have as humans for our own lives. And just being like, okay, see, if I see myself as the center of my own universe, what does that mean? Like in the beginning, you would think, oh, wow, that's great. That's cute. I'm great.
Yeah.
But for me, it's also like going beyond the ego and just exploring like, what type of responsibility does that mean? If I am a god of my universe, like, if you believe in God, God makes things rain, he makes things grow, like stuff needs to function on earth, right? If you see yourself as that entity for your own life, it's a huge responsibility. So you have to make sure your life is where it's supposed to be. That means showing up. That means taking responsibility for your own happiness, being a better person, like just being your higher self in all aspects of your lives. So that's what my music is about, basically, like going back to the knowledge of, yes, there is God within us, and we have the power and potential to be whatever and whoever we want to be. That's great. That's the great news. The other news is not bad news, but there's just more news to that. It just means it's hard work, and we need to take the responsibility now.
All right, so we're gonna listen to your music later towards the end of the show, but I wanna know about what kind of music you like. Do you listen to African artists, and who are your favorites?
Oh, yes. I listen to everything that I love. Like, I don't have like a genre which I exclude. So right now, I love the Nigerian, London-based artist Flo. She's an amazing hip-hop artist, also quite experimental and just breaking boundaries. When it comes to like Zambian artists, I love Tilo. He's an amazing, amazing artist. There's just so many artists I love. Like, if you ask me that, we'll be here until tomorrow. If I had
So I'm kind of like the guy who says that he can't dance at all. I love dancing, but I know that I'm not talented. What about you? Are you a good dancer?
Girl, I'll stick to singing. Like, same.
Know your strengths, know your weaknesses.
You
All
know,
right.
I stick to singing.
Okay, so you live in Germany, though you grew up in Zambia. Tell me what it's like for you as a young Black artist here in Germany. What is the industry like, and what is your place in this industry?
I'm trying to figure it out. No. So I think there's like two answers to that question. Like, to be honest, in the beginning, I was really like very innocent and just started doing music without really thinking about what is this going to be. I was just like, I'll do it. Like, and then um when I was in the process, I was like, damn, I don't think this will be received well at all. Like, I don't know many Black, dark-skinned artists in Germany
Yeah.
doing music, period, but also doing the type of music that I do, which is a little bit more experimental. So I was very unsure about that. But to be honest, I think I was perceived pretty well. Like, I didn't expect that at all. Like, the first year we were privileged enough to have we were nominated for several film festivals for the music videos we did for my first project, and we even won the Berlin Short Film Festival. I was nominated as best artist. I was like the first year. I was like, what? Wait, what is happening?
It
What
was
type of
going very
juju is
well
going on? Yeah, like, it wasn't
right
me.
from the beginning.
So yeah, I was really grateful for that. I didn't take that for granted. Germany is becoming more like English speaking, or like it's embracing more languages, but that's just on the language level. I always feel insecure of like, do they actually get what I'm saying? Like, do people understand my lyrics? Is it something people can even connect to being what it is? So it's a little bit intimidating sometimes. And also just the issue of like not seeing other artists that look like me and not necessarily that do the same thing that I do, because I get that that's kind of unique, right? And I like it that way. But like, I don't see many Black women, especially like Black, dark-skinned women in the music industry at all, like be it Germany or even worldwide.
Yeah.
It's a different story maybe in Zambia, but still like it's quite intimidating, but that also really motivates me and empowers me to create the universe I want to see. That's why.
And to be a trailblazer and also a role model for
Stop.
others. Yeah, of course.
No, like honestly, that really motivates me, especially like in my music videos. I always try to create the universe or the world that I don't see outside. I really try to feature as many Black women as possible in my music videos, because I think that's the most natural thing for me. It's what I grew up around. And it's just always weird to see television not portraying the aunties, cousins, and sisters I grew up with. So I see it as an opportunity to correct that.
All right, we need to talk politics now. Zambia, there was a general election a while back. So a new government, the opposition has taken over. And the winners say that they attribute their win, their victory, to the young people who came out and voted. So do you think that the young people of Zambia now have a bigger voice, and that that voice will really be listened to by the politicians?
You know what? I really, really hope so. Because just knowing that I think there've never been this many votes from the youth ever in any election. So I think that just shows you that people, especially the young people, were really ready for a better future for themselves, because they are the ones who are going to suffer the consequences of a good or bad government right now in the future, when they're already suffering from it. So I think that was definitely telling. And I really, really do hope that the new government listens, because from what I've heard and from what I've experienced, it's just that people are really, they've been very resilient and they've really endured a lot in the past few years. And I just really hope that the new government does the hopes justice, because Zambia definitely deserves justice, development, and a really great government.
Kaleo Sansaa, thank you so much for joining us in our studio today. We wish you all the best.